Hi guys, in this next video I'll be showing you how to draw a symmetrical monster. So in front of you can see I've done a sort of dragon dinosaur type thing here with these four horns and these spiky bits and these teeth and these split tongue. And it's symmetrical, which means this side is the same as this side, okay? And this follows on from my Eiffel Tower video, and we're going to use a really easy, fun technique to create a symmetrical monster. So to start off with, you're going to need to get a pencil, okay? And what you'd really like is the softest pencil possible, okay? I talked about this in my last video. Sketching pencils would have a number and a letter, like B, 2B, 3B, 4B, 5B, and so on. Now this one is a 3B. It's not quite focusing very well, but it's a 3B. It's a sketching pencil. Normal pencils that you have in school, you might have at home, are HB, okay? Now, it would work with one of these. If you haven't got any sketching pencils, this will work. You just need to press really hard. So I've got my 3B, which I'm going to use for this. And the first thing I'm going to do is carefully fold my piece of paper in half vertically. Okay, and I'm going to focus on drawing half of my creature. Now, I want to start with some really angry looking eyes. And the way I'm going to do that in this video is I'm going to draw a diagonal line here, right, about 2/3 of the way up the page. And then I'm going to draw a bit of a circle and another bit of a circle here. This is going to be my eye, okay, with the brow looking over the eye. So straight away, to me, that looks a bit like quite an angry creature. I'm going to draw some nose ridges. And with this, I'm pressing really hard on my pencil. Okay, and then the nostrils here. But I'm only actually drawing one nostril, okay? I'm going to leave the other side bare for now. Now, over my nostrils, I'm going to have some teeth. Big teeth. Now, a tip when drawing teeth, right? It's really tempting to draw spiky teeth like this. Okay? But actually, that doesn't look as cool as more natural teeth, which are slightly rounded. Not quite as sharp, okay? You get the idea there. Just going to have a tooth there, another one here. So they're sharp, but they're not really, really sharp. I'm going to stop there in the middle. And then inside this mouth is going to be a tongue, okay? Now a tongue has got a line in the middle. Your tongue's got that, my tongue's got that. And this dragon's tongue's got that as well. Now this one, though, is going to have a split. It's going to have a forked tongue, all right? I haven't got a forked tongue. I don't think you guys have, but you might want to check. So I'm going to come back to that later. And I've got my bottom tooth here. And I'm going to show it's coming out of a little bit of gum. Okay. So there we have my mouth. And below this, I'm going to have a bit of a chin. And then I'm going to make my monster have some horns, all right? Now, horns are really, really cool, but they're also very, very hard to draw the same on both sides. And this is exactly what this video is for. So this horn's going to come out here. It's going to wind down, and it's going to curve up like this. And as I get towards the skull, it's going to get thicker. So that's one horn there. And I'm going to draw another horn coming out like this. Okay, I can do these lines around the horn to show where it's kind of growing out of the skull. So, line this up. And maybe I'll have another spike, like a unicorn horn here. So, I've got half my picture like so. And what you're going to do is, because you've pressed nice and hard on this, you're going to fold this over. And then you can probably just about see that. Can you see that through the video? Just about. I'm going to use the edge of my pencil now to basically colour over my picture. And what's going to happen is the graphite that's stuck on my other page is going to be pressed over to the other sheet of paper. And it's going to leave an imprint on my other page. So I go all the way over this, following my lines, making sure these details are covered, and that will show me where I need to draw these details. Okay. Right, let's have a look. Okay, so you can see here these faint lines, all right, that's coming out. Then I'm going to grab my pen and I'm going to go over this. So I've got my eye here. I've got the ridges of my nose, my nostril, my sharp teeth, going around to my mouth, my other tooth here, the gums. And if you can't see it, you've got two options. You can either basically make up where it goes using your artistic license, or you can fold over your piece of paper again and go over those ridges. Okay, this one's quite clear. The horn, I can see this line. This is a bit faint, so actually I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to use my pencil just to go over this again. And this time I'm using my other pencil. That'll still work, and hopefully, yeah, you can see now that line is clearer. So I can go over the top of that now. Okay, and I'm using my strong outline. Let's go around here. Got my next horn here. My unicorn horn in the middle. And those lines like so. All right, and there we have it. We have a creature. That's number 2. This is number 1. Once you've got your creature, then the fun really begins, okay? Adding those details. So you might want to add colour straight away here. You might want to do this in pen. It's entirely up to you. And from now on, it doesn't actually have to be symmetrical, okay? It doesn't have to be the same both sides. So what I'm going to do with my monster here is I'm going to add a few blobs of saliva dripping off his tongue like this, okay? And they're not symmetrical. Just going to draw a little line there to show that they're wet. So this monster is kind of dribbling, maybe a few more lines on the tongue there. Okay, I'm going to build it up and up and up. I'm going to have a chin. I forgot to put a chin. I'm going to draw a chin freehand, which means I'm just going to do it without mirroring it. Horns, a really cool thing you can do with horns is to show the effect that they're made, you know, of bone or hair actually. Some horns are made from compressed hair, like a rhino's horn. And this is going to go around here. So I'm doing these lines. Some of them are going all the way across. Some of them I'm leaving a gap. And they're slightly curved to show that this horn is curved. Now it might have some gaps, might have some scars. There might have been lots of battles where this monster's bashed its horns with another monster. A bit like the stags at Ashton Court. So maybe there's various, I could do a scar like this on this one to show where this monster might have been in a battle. Okay, so I'm doing these curved lines. Some of them go all the way across, some of them don't, and I'm building up the detail there. Okay, got my pupil here. Now I might have some red eyes, that would look pretty cool. I'm going to make the iris, the coloured bit of the eye, red. I'm using a red pen for this. But that's just because I've got it next to me. You can use whatever things you've got to hand there. Okay, here's my beastie. Some lines here to show that this is spiky. And this guy has got a kind of frill here around his head, a bit like a traditional Chinese dragon, but also a little bit like a dinosaur. You know, a triceratops has kind of got a kind of crown around him to make him look bigger, perhaps. Okay, so you can see now, guys, how I'm building this up. And this is really, really good fun. I'm definitely enjoying this. I think you would too. Once you've got your basic symmetrical shape you can play with all these details here and have a great time filling them up. I'm going to put a few more scars and scratches in there. Okay, the inside of the mouth, what you might want to do is fill that in. You might want to fill it in black. Do that very carefully, okay? Very carefully. What you don't want to do is colour in the teeth more than you need to. So I'm taking my time. And hopefully that will bring my picture to life a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's looking quite good. I'm going to add my strong outline to this bit. And then I think I'm going to work on these frills. And I'm going to change the direction of my line and have these lines coming out this way. Maybe it's a bit like a lion's mane, and it'll pop out and get bigger to scare other creatures away. So that's building up, and you can see I'm using this big thick pen, and it's very bold. It's good fun because I've got my basic shape. I can really play around with these details now. They don't need to be the same. I might add another line there. I might even do a little bit of shading under this eye to make him look fierce. Do some lumps down the middle. And I'm just building up my picture. Maybe a bit more mouth here. And he's looking pretty mean. It's looking pretty cool. So the next stage, if you wanted to, would be to add some more colour to that. You know I'm a big fan of using colouring pencils because they're not going to interfere with the ink that I've got in my felt tip pen. Okay, if I was to use a felt tip pen, it might make the paper really thin and it might start to blend the colours a little bit. If I stick with colouring pencils, I'm not going to have that problem. But you can do whatever you like, guys. Okay, I hope you enjoy playing with this. It's a really easy technique. It's good fun. Enjoy.